What's up everybody? Welcome to Inside the Game, your one source for everything cool in video games. Now if you want to be a part of the show, you can go to insidethegame.ca where there you can submit your clip and end off our show. While you're there, you can also check out our YouTube channel and join our Discord community. Now coming up on this week's show, we hit the links. Nate and I are checking out a very cool game called Tell Me Why, and we're also heading back into the world of Fortnite. Yep, I said that. And we also have a special announcement coming up with a charity stream, but we'll touch on that later. So let's get started with the Inside Scoop.
So last week we talked about leaks of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, the official name being confirmed. Well, we can tell you for 100% fact the live event has just happened, and let me tell you, we got a bit of a glimpse at some gameplay, some new characters, some old characters coming back, and just kind of the whole entire setting of what Cold War Black Ops is going to be all about. And we're going to be following the original game. This is going to be the direct sequel to the original game, and we're getting a lot of the same characters, Woods, Mason, which I think is going to be absolutely awesome. But some of the better parts here is, I know last week we talked about possibly, is it too early for another Call of Duty? Do we need another one? Warzone's been so wildly successful, and the campaign to Modern Warfare was great. Do we need a new Call of Duty? Well, they've kind of answered some of those questions for us. Activision actually said this game's going to be cross-platform, cross-generational, and cross-progression, which is absolutely amazing. That means you can play with anybody on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, or PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X players can play with Xbox One players, or PlayStation 4 players. And that's super awesome. And the fact that we have cross-progression over all those platforms is also a really nice touch. But the thing I thought was really awesome is that everything you gain right now in Modern Warfare and Warzone, you can carry over into the new game. That's right, you don't lose all that, all your calling cards, all, your characters, skins, everything you bought in this game is actually going to be carried over into the new game, which I think is an absolutely huge plus for their success here. And I think that was a great move to make, because if they did make a move like that, it would be hard to just strip players away from all the fun they're having with these games and the money they've put into them at this point, and start fresh with another game. So it's nice to know that Warzone's going to be brought into this new game, and there's going to be elements kind of taken from the Black Ops Cold War and put into Warzone, kind of like Modern Warfare was put into Warzone. So, having all these kind of cross-progression, cross-platform things happening with this game, I think is hopefully going to open the door for future games to do things like this, because you know what? All we want to do is play games and have fun, and being able to carry all our progress over to a new game, an absolutely new game, I think is outstanding. And this game's coming out on November 13th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And they have stated that when you do get the next gen consoles, you are going to have to buy the new game, but if you currently own the game, you can buy a $10 upgrade, as long as you're staying in the same console family, that is, to get the new game on the next gen consoles. So honestly, 10 extra bucks to get me on the next gen consoles while I have fun playing this game now, I think is a great deal.
Alright, so Gamescom has come and passed, and we got a sneak peek at a lot of stuff. And there was one thing that in particularly stuck out to me, and of course that is Doom Eternal's next campaign DLC. We got a sneak peek at some of the new creatures that are going to be in it, and maybe even some of the fights. And by one of those fights, I am absolutely terrified, because it is two Marauders at the same time. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm super excited to see how that's all going to play out.
We've seen the rise of one of the quirkiest jelly bean battle royale games going. I'm talking about Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. They've sold over 7 million copies on Steam, and if you're one of the lucky few, you've got it for free over on PlayStation Plus last month for the month of August. Now, in opening night live for Gamescom, Jeff Keighley announced Season 2. Mediatonic is bringing us a medieval theme where you can expect dragons, knights, and a whole lot more siege. So look for that coming sometime in the month of August. And of course, you'll find the guys there from ITG hanging out as well. Hit us up, maybe we'll battle it out together.
So Thor's battle with Galactus is brought them to the Fortnite Island. That's right, the Avengers, Thor, Galactus, Doctor Doom, and a bunch of other characters are making it into the Fortnite Island for the launch of Chapter 2 Season 4. We're going to be getting a ton of new map points of interest. We're going to be getting some new abilities, which I think are going to be pretty cool, like Doctor Doom's gauntlets or Silver Surfer's board. I mean, there's a lot of things to take in here because this is a huge Avengers collaboration. They had a collaboration a little while back, early on in the Fortnite world, and it was great. I thought they did a good job, but this one looks like they're going to be hitting it out of the park. We're going to be able to play as Thor, Iron Man, She-Hulk, Groot, Wolverine, Doctor Doom. There's a few other ones I know I'm forgetting, but like I'm telling you, that's a huge list of characters right there that I think is absolutely awesome to be putting into the game. Fortnite's definitely been, I'm not gonna say regressing. Maybe in the Twitch community it's been regressing. The game is still popping. There's still a lot going on. They're still making, you know, weekly updates. There's a lot happening with Fortnite, and the fact that they're going to be able to launch the new season with, you know, tying in with all these Marvel characters, especially with the new Marvel Avengers game coming out very shortly, I think it's a really good idea because it's going to bring a lot of focus to the game and it's going to get a lot of people back in, maybe myself included. We played Let's Play last week that I thought was a lot of fun when we were playing Fortnite. It'd be kind of cool to jump back in and check out these Avenger characters because there's a whole new battle pass that kind of intertwines all these characters and some of the abilities and everything in. So it's definitely worth jumping in to check it out. So you know what? I'm telling you, it might be time to jump back into Fortnite and check out this Avengers thing.
Alright, so we all know that Halo's had a bit of a rocky start ever since we've gotten the gameplay launch, and so much so that it's actually been delayed till next year. But all this means that they are working on this game, and in most recent news, it really does prove it. They've hired Joseph Staten. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this name, he has played a huge role in Halo all the way to Halo Reach, playing a huge part in the dialogue and the scripts, both in the cinematics and in the actual game. So this is huge news. This is a guy that's been around in Halo since the beginning, and I think that his input is going to be huge. So Joseph Staten, he currently works as Director of Cinematics for Microsoft Game Studios. So his role switch to Project Lead of the campaign for Halo, now this is a huge switch, and I think it's going to be really good. Like I said, he's had a ton of experience with the Halo universe and with Xbox in general, so to see him kind of hopefully take the reins a little bit and help steer 343 Industries in the right direction, I can't wait to see some more from Halo. And make sure to stay tuned because we'll keep you up to date with all the news on Halo Infinite.
A new month is nearly upon us, which means new games and free, even better. PlayStation Plus, Xbox Gold, and Stadia Pro are bringing a whole new slew of games, and I've got your rundown. Kicking things off on September 1st will be PlayStation with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Street Fighter V. PUBG needs no introduction. With precise gunplay and deep knowledge of a large map, it places PUBG as one of the top battle royales that initially launched the genre. We've seen a lot of changes since the initial release on 2017, so now might be your chance to jump in for free. Kicking things off for Xbox is The Division on September 1st. You're gonna get your hands on the original Division. New York City has fallen in chaos. This online shooter is a groundbreaking experience combining robust RPG customization and tactical action combat. Don't forget, you can also co-op with friends and take out enemies. The Blob 2. And continuing midway through September, on September 16th, you'll get the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 and Armed and Dangerous. And wrapping things up would be Google Stadia, bringing 6 titles to Stadia Pro, starting off with Hitman, Hello Neighbor, Super Bomb R Online, Ember, Metro Last Light Redux, and Gunsport. Look for all of those to be dropping on September 1st. Hitman's easily one of my favorite stealth games and definitely one I highly recommend. Initially released episodically, now comes to Stadia Pro users, complete with all missions included. So no point in stopping, definitely check it out.
Microsoft and Sony have been dominating the headlines with the release of their new consoles coming out later this year. Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. We've also had a tease of some of the games running on these systems, and let me say they look absolutely amazing. We've not heard much from Nintendo, apart from the massive sale and popularity of Animal Crossing, as well as they've had a few Nintendo Direct Minis that have been overshadowed. There is a rumour though in 2021 there could be a new Nintendo Switch coming out. Nintendo Switch 2 or Nintendo Switch Pro are some of the names in the running. This beefed up console will be a lot more powerful and actually have a 4K high definition graphics with it. As we all know, with a beefed up console there's going to be a beefed up price that'll probably go with it. This is also going to be a hard sell for me, as I already play my Xbox games through my xClouds on my Android phone. Let us know what you think. Would you be interested in buying the next Nintendo Switch?
This week, I'm dusting the clubs off and hitting the links in PGA 2K21.
Makes this putt. He'll walk away with the FedEx Cup and a monumental upset over Justin Thomas. But Mac's journey to get here wasn't easy. Right from the beginning, Mac brought his own style to the course. Now that's a bold choice. Or maybe interesting is the right word here. Mac really puts in the work on and off the course. His Q-School performance just gets the covers coming off the big dogs.
This week, I got an awesome opportunity to check out the brand new PGA 2K21 from 2K Games. It's been a while since I've played a golf game, and it's been a while since I played a good golf game. And I actually really enjoy playing golf, and I do like golf video games. I find that they're very relaxing, chill to play, usually challenging enough to keep you involved and kind of, you know, committed to continuing to play and getting better. But for me, jumping right into 2K21, it was kind of an interesting experience because everything's based around your created character. There's no pros to play as in this, so you're playing against the pros. You're creating your own character and you're kind of starting your own PGA career. And there's so many options when you first get going as far as what you can customize on your character. Every facial feature you could possibly think of. There's a ton of different clothing options, and then you get into your golf bag where you have a lot of customization options when it comes to your clubs as well. Not only can you pick what style of clubs you have, which clubs you have in your bag, which ones you don't, and you can customize the color of the shafts of the golf clubs. Like there's so many different things that kind of just make it unique. Like my guy's got a cowboy hat and glasses, and he's wearing, you know, my two favorite colors, orange and blue. So it's one of those things where it's just like it really gets you immersed immediately. You know, you're committed now. You have this character and you want to jump into the PGA Tour, which kind of brings us to the first game mode that you kind of get introduced when you first jump into this, is your PGA career. And you have the choice to start your career kind of at the bottom of the ladder, not on the PGA Tour. You're playing, you know, more pro-am style tournaments, and you have to work your way up the ladder to, you know, get into the PGA. But you also have the option to jump straight into the PGA tournament. And that's what I chose to do because I really didn't want to work from the bottom. I wanted to show everybody that I'm the best, right? So I wanted to be right in there. But at the same time, working from the bottom isn't as, you know, treacherous as it may seem. You don't have to win a ton of tournaments to get there. You know, you have to place in the top 50 in your first couple tournaments, and you move up that ladder pretty quickly. But it is kind of nice to start, you know, on a couple easier courses, and it's kind of a cool way to, you know, launch your career a little bit if you want to have a little more backstory before you get to the PGA Tour. But when you get to the PGA Tour, things do change. You're now introduced to rivals, and these are people that are going to usually shoot around the same similar score that you at least have been shooting up to this point. And the idea is to basically outplay them by the end of each event. So there'll be categories as far as strokes, how many birdies, eagles, that kind of thing, where you're going to get basically a check mark point. And depending on, you need to get up to 16 points to be able to beat that rival and move on. So it may take a couple of events, a few events, depending on how well you're golfing, to beat that rival. But as you do that, you gain experience, you gain in-game credit currency that allows you to buy clothing, it allows you to buy different clubs, access into society events, which we'll get into here shortly. But again, there's just, it really gets you into it. Before, I haven't even talked about how you swing the golf club yet, and that's what I'm saying. There's so many options here to cover before you even get into the base gameplay, but it still happens fairly quickly. So they kind of introduce this swing mechanic in this game where we use kind of 2 meters. We use a directional meter for forward and back because we use the right stick to swing the club, and there's a power meter on the bottom that basically, as soon as you start your backswing, that power meter starts sliding across, and once it gets to the specified zone for you to, you know, to hit the ball as clean as possible, that's when you start your approach on the swing to the ball. And it's all, everything comes into play. There's a little bit of vibration feedback to allow you to know what tempo you should be swinging the club at, and that takes a little bit of getting used to. It's definitely a little bit more difficult if it's not something you're used to playing as. You know, if you're just used to the regular golf meter, you know, tap A again, and then you can kind of let it go after you aim it. This one, it's a little more particular. You have to make sure that when you swing that stick back and forth, you're giving it as straight of a line as possible, because any sway off of that is actually going to send your ball possibly into some rough territory. And when I mean rough territory, it could be the fairway on the next hole. So there's a lot of things in this game to take into consideration when you first get in. But I found that the way they kind of set up the swing mechanics and give you a quick tutorial on how it all works really shows you, you know, how to dial that in. It didn't take long for me to start hitting, you know, good straight shots, and it was just more or less when wind came into play and was more of a factor, I really had to figure out how to adjust that shot to make sure the ball lands where I want it to land. So it's a golf game that we haven't had in a long time, and it's laid out really, really well, and I think that's what's really going to take people and draw them in. So like in many golf games, the roster of courses that you get to choose from is a big deal. You want to make sure you have some of those iconic golf courses, and we definitely have a bunch of them in the playlist here, but I noticed there was a few kind of bigger ones missing, like, you know, the Masters at Augusta and Pebble Beach, like some of those, you know, AAA courses that everybody knows. When you hear the name, it's synonymous in the golf community. So I was surprised to see that we didn't have those here. I mean, we have a lot of great courses, don't get me wrong, and there's a ton of, you know, challenging courses out there, but at the same time, you want to have those big name courses because, you know, we're building up our PGA career. We're moving to the next level. We want to become the best. So you want to be able to play on those, you know, prime time holes and golf courses, and that it just kind of puts you more in the experience. Not to say that there maybe isn't going to be DLC in the future with different courses and, you know, more clubs and other things like that. We haven't heard anything, you know, in the works about that yet. It could have been a licensing issue. Maybe that's why they can't get some of those courses, but it would have been nice to see some of them in there. And sticking with the courses, there's actually a really awesome create a course feature in this game, and it was pretty simple jumping in. They kind of lay everything out for you. You get to pick a general difficulty of course that you're looking for, and it kind of gives you a rough template of a course, and then you can kind of choose how much water you want, you know, how much foliage you want. You can adjust the sliders to kind of custom set up the different kind of course that you want you want to have. And you know, you can make your fairways wide, super skinny, and it's actually was laid out really well, because these are kind of course creators. Things like this can tend to get a little overwhelming at times, because you know, there's usually a lot of mechanics involved with how it's all laid out, but they seem to do a pretty good way of kind of simplifying this a little bit, but also giving you enough customization to allow to make, you know, courses that are going to be different from other people. And that's also really cool, is once you publish your course or finish it and then publish the course, you can actually find it in a community of courses that other people have made. You can see trending courses that, you know, a lot of people happen to be playing and enjoying, or you can just make a, you know, a treacherous custom course and have your friends come in and play and have a tournament on that course. So it's really cool, because it gives you so many options to, you know, be able to share. And we know whenever you give the community, especially the gaming community, the opportunity to customize something in game, they'll usually go way over the top. And I can't wait to see some of the courses people come up with. Maybe people are going to make those courses that we don't have in the playlist, you know what I mean? So it's really nice to have this created course feature when it's laid out so nicely.
You make a birdie as we make the turn.
One of the last things I want to touch on here is the multiplayer side of PGA 2K21. We have our basic multiplayer. You can jump in with your friends in a private match, jump into you know, match with a public lobby match, and there's a bunch of different game styles. We have 2v2, we have 1v1 match play, there's best ball, scramble. There's so many different ways to play in this game, and you can set up, you know, your own custom game if you want, and have people jump in and join, whether it be friends or just random people online, which I thought was really cool, because there's a lot of options just to jump in and play multiplayer. But then we also have PGA societies. And this is like online leagues. This is probably the easiest way to describe it, is the society is considered an online league. And we actually started one here with ITG, the ITG Golf League. We're all going to be playing in that, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the idea is you can kind of create a community where we will continue, you can have events. So we're having a 15-week tournament where every week we're playing a new course and we're going head to head against each other, and we, there's credits you can win, there's experience you can win, so it's all worth something, and it's a ton of fun to be able to jump in with your friends. But the best part is there's a ton of societies out there already. 2K has their own society set up that you can jump right into, and other people are setting up their own societies that there will be an entry fee sometimes to get into some of these events. So make sure you save that in-game currency. You want to have some of it, because if you're looking to jump into the societies, some of them aren't free to get into, so you got to use the in-game currency that you get from just playing the game, which is nice, to pay for your entry. So that means, if you're paying to get in, that means if you're going to do well, you're going to get some money on the way out. So these societies kind of open it all up and allow people to get really custom with it. You could have a whole tournament of custom courses that you've made if you really want to do that. So the societies is a really nice feature in a game like this, because it's a game you're probably going to play a lot solo, but at the same time it gives you a ton of options just to jump in and play with your friends, whether it just be a regular multiplayer mode or these new PGA societies.
What a shot!
Well, I've certainly had a great time finding fairways and shanking sand traps in PGA 2K21. It's definitely the golf game I've been looking to play for a long time. There's definitely some issues here when it comes into, like we said, we're maybe missing the ability to play as the pros, and we're missing a few courses. But overall, this is a polished game. It's done really, really well. It's laid out, I'm going to say, meticulously well, because everything's easy to find, especially when you have a bunch of different game modes. So honestly, it was so much fun playing this game and being able to experience playing it with my friends. Like, I'm out on the course having a good time. Maybe on those rainy days I can jump on PGA 2K21 instead of going out and playing golf and have that same experience. And honestly, when I'm out there, the course sounds, the graphics, everything makes me feel like I'm there. So that's what I'm looking for in a game like this, where I'm looking just to chill out and have a good time. So PGA 2K21 is getting an 8.5 from me.
Happy days ahead. A hole-in-one.
PGA 2K21 is a great golf simulator with lots of customization offerings. Course Builder and online societies were also a really nice touch. But it would have been nice to play as the pros, though.
The ITG crew is getting together for one of the biggest events this year. The big game is on, and it's coming September 18th to the 19th. The ITG crew is going live for 24 hours in hopes to raise money for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, a great cause and a great community that you can be a part of. Big Brothers Big Sisters is a youth mentoring organization that has been in existence over 100 years in Canada. Their mission is to enable life-changing mentoring relationships that ignite the power and potential of young people. With 100 agencies countrywide and 42 agencies in Ontario, the reach is extensive and the results are undeniable. Currently, Big Brothers Big Sisters serve over 41,000 children nationwide, with the dedicated assistance of 19,000 mentor volunteers that choose to join their agencies. They are able to work within the communities to strengthen the relationships of caring adults for vulnerable youth. And there's many ways for you to get involved. You can get involved on September 18th and 19th over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/theofficialitg, Rogers TV, and of course our website at insidethegame.ca/thebiggame. We'll be live for 24 hours in hopes to raise money for the beautiful kids of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. We're there, you can help support and donate, and we'll be live gaming for 24 hours. That's 24 games in 24 hours. That's a lot of gaming. But we'll also be talking to developers of their upcoming titles, and we'll be doing a few giveaways. So we hope to see you there. Come on, Nate. Just tell me why.
Whoa. I just got hit with a flood of memories.
Love you, Mom.
You seen what I'm seeing?
Mom?
Allison?
Yeah. It doesn't matter that they don't believe us.
We all believed that what happened that night was self-defense. But we couldn't be sure.
Nate, you and I checked out Tell Me Why. This is by Don't Not Entertainment, and we're going to kick things off by starting to say that it's actually done over 3 episodes. We had the opportunity to play all 3 episodes, wrapped up the story, and wow, what an impact it had on us. But how it's going to work is actually it drops on day 1 with obviously episode 1, and then a week later you're gonna get episode 2, and the week after that episode 3. I think this is a smart take with an episodic game instead of something that we're familiar with, like say the Walking Dead series where we had 1 episode and then we waited months down the line. So Don't Not's taking a different approach, allowed us to play episode 1 and then have a conversation grow around that, and then they're going to launch episode 2. You and I had the opportunity to play all 3 episodes, wrapped up the story. Nate, I gotta be honest, man, I was blown away at Tell Me Why. What did you think of this one?
Man, just like you, absolutely blown away. The overall story of the game is beautifully portrayed.
Yeah.
Every character is just so well done. I can't honestly praise this game enough. Right off the get-go, with the music that they play, and it's just introducing the characters as they're getting ready. It feels very personable. And as you play more and more, you get just more invested in these characters. And wow, we're gonna talk about the story just very vaguely because we're gonna do a spoiler cast in a couple weeks. But that to say, wow, man.
No, absolutely. To kind of dance around the story, I guess you could say, it focuses on 2 characters, Allison and Tyler, but it focuses on the transgender community and the fact that Tyler was actually Ollie as a child and has made the transition. It's kind of mid-transition, you could say. But it also focuses around the fact that their family is torn apart and how that kind of explodes. And I guess honestly, that's about as far as we're going to take this story.
Yeah.
This is one of those games you definitely need to experience. I think it is so tastefully told, Nate. Like, it is a beautiful story. It's an incredible story. I had moments where I was just, you make certain decisions, right? And a lot of these games are kind of that walking sim kind of genre, and in a sense it has that little bit of a taste to it, But when you get these decisions, there's a few moments where I put my controller down and stared at my screen because I really didn't know which decision I wanted to choose moving forward. Like, what was the consequences I was going to face and which way did I want to go? I wanted to kind of gauge my repercussions per se, and hopefully I was picking the right choice. There isn't a right or wrong choice with the game, but at the same time, man, there's a couple times I had to put the controller down to figure out what I really wanted to do moving forward with both these characters. They have this unique ability because they're twins, that they have this ability to talk to each other through their minds and relive memories, and that's a big mechanic of the game and a big puzzle within a lot of the mechanic of the storytelling as well. And I thought, man, it was so cool to see how they were able to portray this overarching story over chapter 1, which obviously leaves you on a cliffhanger, right? And then chapter 2 kind of wraps things up, and you get into chapter 3 and I was like, where do they go now? And then I was like, wow, that's where they took this. Okay. And you were hooked, and I just followed all the way through. Like, I couldn't put it down, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, man, me too. I'm right there with you. So, and a really cool thing with the decision making is that they're all usually memories, so you kind of get to pick and choose between which memory, you know, you want to remember, I guess you could say. Yeah. And like you said, man, like I have sat there like 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes, like, oh, what is the right moral decision, or like, who is thinking the right way? And I've actually found that me and you picked opposite decisions, you know,
which was cool
frequently, which it is pretty cool. And even at the end of chapter 3, we picked a different decision, which was also really cool. So
yeah, I like how they give you the stats too. They always give you the stats of who picked what and kind of the percentage, right? So I was kind of going down the list, and often I was picking the one with the smallest percentage overall. It was kind of unique to see. I like that.
Yeah, man. So one thing we kind of got to talk about, there are just a couple issues with the game. Yeah. I guess one of them being that sometimes when you're in the middle of a conversation with someone, or when you look at an item and then you start talking about it, if you kind of walk away from it, sometimes it'll bring up the next conversation. And I've dealt with these issues in Fallout games and Skyrim. Like, this is just an issue in gaming overall with dialogue. So sometimes you just would miss some key information, and it would kind of just change the pace that you were just on, which is unfortunate. Now, it didn't happen all the time, so if you're kind of mindful of every time someone started talking, you just kind of
listen to the whole thing
and listen.
That's the biggest thing. That's the whole game though, right? The whole game is basically focused on creating conversations and listening to those conversations. So if you move on too quickly, you're gonna miss out on some of that dialogue choice, and it's by accident. It's not on purpose, it's by accident, and it really kind of takes away from the actual story, Nate, because you suddenly just get cut off in the middle of that dialogue for the next piece of dialogue to kick in. And I wish there was some kind of wrap up that conversation and then allow it to move in, transition a little bit smoother. And that was kind of, you and I both focused on that problem a lot, unfortunately. And the other option too is when you do select items and you get the one piece of dialogue, that's all you get is one dialogue. When you're in those point and click adventure games, often when you click on an item, you'll get multiple dialogues. So you're not constantly hearing the same repeat line of dialogue over and over again. But
what's this? What's this?
That's all it was, right? I was like, man, that was a little disappointing. I would have liked to seen a couple choices and then wrap it up with, okay, now it's time to move on. Piece of dialogue in a sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And in the gameplay, like you said, most of it is kind of just walking around and clicking on things. But there are some puzzles and a couple parts where you have like this, I don't know, is it like a paper toss fight or something? I can't remember what you're throwing.
Oh, it was a doll.
But it's very corny and lighthearted. But again, they do kind of break up that somewhat monotonous just walking around and clicking on things. I think often enough a couple of those puzzles were actually quite challenging. I know you just broke the lock on a couple of them, so or broke down the door.
You have a couple options, some things. So it was cool to see that conversation of you and I afterwards of, what did you do here? Well, I did this. I didn't feel like doing that, so I did this instead. And that's what this game portrays, is the conversation. And it's obviously, if you can play this with friends, it's the best way to play this game. and how they portray Tyler and the choices he faces in life moving on, and with the whole transgender, you know, stereotype of a small town in Alaska, how he faces with that, and his overall growing up experience and the trials and tribulations that he's had to deal with. Like, I can only imagine what some of these people have to actually deal with when they're going through this stuff, and I don't portray to know by any means. So this kind of gives us an insight to some of these unfortunate events that people have to deal with, and it sucks that they have to deal with it, but I think Don't took a tasteful approach into introducing people who might not be so familiar with this kind of topic, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I just felt like the conversations you had with some of the townsfolk, it just felt so authentic.
Yeah.
And just like things I've like almost heard, not from me personally, but just from other people and stuff. It's just, you know, it was just incredible, man. I think it was a really bold step by Don't Nod, and a really great step.
I think it's paid off, Nate, to be honest. I think this is one that'll have people talking for years, right? This is going to be one of those games that puts Don't Nod once again on the map, and saying, hey, you know what, they took a chance, and I think they took a chance with something well done too, and it's made its way, I think, to a great platform that people are going to appreciate and enjoy this game. It's got one heck of a twist and turn all the time, and it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Oh yeah.
And the story is just so well written. I think that's the biggest take from this. It's so well done. You just want to know what happens next, and it keeps you coming back for the extra little bit of information you can gather and keep going for this story. It's so cool, man.
Yeah, man. All right, Drew, so you're gonna have to tell me why you're gonna give this such a high score, because I know that you're going to, and I know that I'm giving this one a 9.5, because this game is damn well near perfect. A couple little minor, you know, issues with the dialogue, and sometimes when you're walking around, some of the movements weren't perfect. But I mean, that's the only thing I think that really knocks this game from being a 10 out of 10. This story is an absolutely must play. You know, this experience is unlike anything I've ever seen in a game, man. No, what did you think?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nate. This is a one of a lifetime experience, I think, from Don't Nod. I think what they've crafted here is something that's outstanding. It's beautiful. I think so well written, the way it's portrayed throughout the 3 episodes, and how they introduce characters and conflict, and how it's kind of tastefully managed all at the same time. You can't fault it for some of the minor things, because it's so overseen by how well the story develops and is told, and explains the problems and conflicts within the family and within the community. It's so well done. Everybody must play this game. I'm there with a 9.5.
Nice.
It doesn't matter that they kept us apart.
Brother, sister, we look out for each other.
It doesn't matter.
This is Don't Nod's best work yet, an incredible story that is magically written with one surprising twist and turn after another, had us enthralled from the beginning to the end. There were just a few minor glitches here along the way.
And the only way to move forward is to keep looking back.
We've been getting these visions whenever we see or hear something really emotional. Everything we thought we knew about Marianne just got thrown out the window. She loved you.
She attacked you. We both saw it.
So for this week's mobile mention, I've got a sports-related game. I'm a huge sports fan, whether it's hockey, basketball, baseball, football. But we're going to focus on football. I'm talking about Retro Bowl. Yeah, that's right, a retro football game. It's absolutely awesome. I didn't even know about this game. I was just kind of scrolling through the App Store, the Google Play Store, and kind of checking out, looking for a new mobile game to play. I haven't really been hooked on one lately. And so I came across Retro Bowl, and I was like, well, let's check this out. I'm a big football fan. The season's starting up soon. Training camps are already underway, so I'm in the mode. So I want to check out what this game was all about. Hopping in right away, I'm loving it. It's so much fun. You have the ability to hop in and become the GM of whatever team you'd like. You can pick your favorite team, or you can get selected by a team and kind of work your way up through the coaching ranks to finally maybe get the opportunity to coach your favorite team. But whatever path you choose, it's really quick to jump into. You get to hop right in. There's rosters to manage, there's facilities to manage, there's coaches to manage, and then the games to play. It's super easy to be able to throw the ball. You just hold on to the quarterback, you click on him, and you drag backwards. You'll see the dotted line of the trajectory of the ball, and you aim where you want to throw in hopes to possibly get that wide receiver, running back, or tight end to catch that ball and go for a touchdown. With the ability to customize almost everything in this game, even outside of the premium version, it's so much fun to play. There's a live draft that you play through, and you play through the first 3 rounds, and during seasons you can trade draft picks away, or players may get traded. You'll collect draft picks, so you'll have more picks come the draft at the end of the season if you need to rebuild your team or revamp your defense or your offense. So there's a lot of really cool customizable things in this game, and it goes so deep as to just the fact that you can pay only $1.30 and jump in and customize even more. You can change your players' names, you can change your team's colors, and there's a lot of other things that kind of just make it all your own, and that allows you to enjoy this game that much more. So if you're looking for a fun game and you're a huge sports fan, football in general, you're gonna love Retro Bowl. You gotta check this one out.
We all know the PlayStation 5 is just around the corner, but what's the future look like for the PlayStation VR? Are we gonna get a sequel? Absolutely we're gonna get a sequel, but when is that time coming? Obviously, I think we all agree it's long overdue to get a new one, because we're starting to see the advances in VR technology take major strides. We're seeing the Oculus iterate, bring out a new version of their Oculus Quest. That's coming just around the corner. We've seen the HTC Vive move into the Vive Cosmos. Everything is getting upgraded, but our PlayStation VR headset isn't. So what does that mean for the future of PlayStation VR? And when do you think we're gonna get it? We've seen some great titles come to PlayStation VR. Astro Bot, latest being Dreams coming onto the platform, and Iron Man VR is a definite must-play experience, but we've also seen that it's lacking in technology and advancements as well. Graphically, it's just not as powerful. Sort of something similar to a 720p compared to what we get when you play Half-Life Alyx on the Oculus. It's just uncomparable. But what do we do moving forward? Because PlayStation 5 is just around the corner, and you can't say that they're gonna bring PlayStation VR 2 out right away. You can't have PlayStation competing with 2 platforms. It's just not possible. Which way you wanna focus your money? You wanna dive all into the PlayStation 5, get consumers in, get everybody on the platform, and then launch the PlayStation VR 2. So, does that mean we're a year out, or are we 2 years out? There are definitely some improvements needed when moving on to the PlayStation VR headset sequel. We're gonna need, obviously, a better vision. We need a better display that we're gonna be able to play our games in, become more immersed than what we already are. Graphics are always a staple moving forward in next-gen consoles, and that's no different when it gets into PlayStation's VR Next headset as well. So I definitely look forward to a better graphical flow, and it'd be easier for motion sickness as well. Less of that feedback to worry about, definitely put you on the right track. But one of the other staples moving forward is now when it comes to the controller. The Move controllers just aren't capable of competing with Half-Life Alyx or the HTC Vive Cosmos when they're getting into finger tracking. Technology is moving forward, so you can definitely see an advancement moving forward with the PlayStation VR controllers as well. VR technology is moving rapidly, and so is next-gen consoles. But with the PlayStation VR 2 probably someday on the horizon, just when are we going to get this piece of tech, and how much? Are they going to come in with another $600 on top of a PlayStation 5 console? So at that point then, you're well over $1,000. So again, you can't see them going on day one, but maybe in a year. I'd definitely love to hear your thoughts, so hit us up on our Discord channel or insidethegame.ca.
Sure, why not?
Why not? All right, Carrie, let's go. There, Carrie boy.
I tried.
It's all good, you got it. I like playing with Garrett on the Switch.
It's a whole play.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I stand a chance.
You guys remember T-ball?
What's that?
I said, you guys remember T-ball?
Yeah.
That's what it was. You're like forced to parachute so much.
Yeah, boys.
Oh, I see a purple. Oh,
Mailbox here. What do you got, a dragon? Dude, that is sick.
Yeah. That's pretty sick.
What is
I didn't see anybody land with us.
I don't see anybody here.
I got one mini here or something.
Your shots fired.
Yo, to the green ones only go up to 50, right? The green shields.
Green shields?
What green shields?
The juice, the juice crap.
Yeah. No, the small juice goes up to 75.
25 for the small ones and then 50 for the, here, 25 for this one. Oh, keep dancing.
Okay, I'm at 50 with the green container.
There, I just dropped one for you down here. Yeah, every time I try to drop something, I start dancing.
Oops, my bad.
The box, what do you think? Are they gonna have Call of Duty Battle Royale Black Ops? More?
Cory just bumped me off.
Or do you
I
think
can
they're
see
gonna...
them just keep going with the Warzone they have now, because they put so much into it, you know?
I hope so.
Yeah, so do I. Apparently there's gonna be zombies in that, so maybe they'll just concentrate on that or make like a battle.
Have a zombie mode for that one and then keep Warzone by itself?
Yeah, free, you know. I mean, that'd be my guess.
Or their marketing team.
How's golf going? We got our seasons all set up, ready to start on Monday.
Yeah, that sounds fun. So it's just one round a week we play? In
one round
official...
a week. Yep.
Right on.
Kyle picked it up today, so he'll be joining us as well. Really, dude?
Let you know it's so hard right now.
There's a couple mushrooms here, guys, if you need that extra couple.
I'm good.
I think I gotta restart. Everything's starting to crash now.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah,
you
like
look
all
fine
the
on my
textures
screen.
are gone. Everything's gone.
Yeah, it's so weird. But you're like running around with us, but...
Yeah.
Well, those guys up top here, east?
Let's go get him.
No, be real. Oh, he just took off. Yeah. Just went up there.
It's a squad rolling in and bailed. Would be pretty dope if they just dropped a Black Ops Battle Royale. That's bare.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I would. So here's my thing. I would like them to, and it would never happen, but somehow just add on to Warzone with Black Ops characters and then intertwine it. Make it just free to play all the way around.
That's very possible though. Like why? Seriously, okay, if we can do cross-play and all that stuff.
Though. I know, but they're different.
No, they're not. They're different studios, same company. They share all the same tech, right? They share all the same tech and stuff, so it's absolutely doable.
But they just, it's just too is Black Ops
make money.
They do feel different though, you know what I mean? Like the gunplay is between the three, you know, makers. So I don't see that happening, but I think
I think you're right, Nate.
I just like it sucks because you know you invest all this, you know, some money into Warzone or whatever and all this time and it's just gone in a year. That's the crappy thing about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's a lot of people that
with a lot of money for Call of Duty. That's what that is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. We all know Activision loves their money.
But I mean, I do it every year for hockey and football and
yeah,
it's another game, right?
For sure.
16 left. I get that W. You don't need me.
16? Really, eh? I haven't even seen anybody.
Yeah, I've just killed 2 bots. That's about it. Anyone carry this shield? Or minis?
Yeah, I probably could. I'll come and grab it. I was just up there. I hear another chest somewhere.
Alright, there's gonna be a really good team high note here somewhere at some point. No doubt.
This is all Cory's fault.
Too quiet.
Not my fault.
It's not your fault.
You can blame me because you're not actually here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cory doesn't count.
You guys want to get up here to the high ground?
Yep.
Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground.
You guys, I can spectate you guys.
How's the textures now, Cory?
Just getting in.
So we're on the edge, more or less, of the circle. So let's see what happens here.
Ooh, upgrade. Oh, guys up top.
Ah, here we go.
Get him for 90.
You can't switch your angle. It's like centered.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they're all on me now.
Yep. Right above you. Oh, he's here. Ow.
Got one.
Nice.
Holy, it's like a minigun smoking now.
Oh. My goodness. Oh, I tag one? Oh, I'm down. I'm trying to hide.
One more, I think.
Oh! What the? Get him! Get him!
Got him.
Nice.
Good job, boys. No bots there.
Nope.
Got him.
Woo.
Anybody?
Oh, sorry, I didn't think.
That's like somebody want to get me?
Not college.
I'm dancing again. Ugh. Got 2 minis.
You got 2 minis? Okay,
And
I'm not gonna.
kit.
It's 2 people.
Oh,
2 other people.
Really? Nice. How many of those big blues did you have?
I had 1, so I just used the 2 minis and the big. It won't let me.
Oh, look at this! Special delivery.
Anybody got health? Whoa!
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, are they 1v1s? Those 2 guys?
They're bots.
Down.
The agent bots you gotta get.
They don't count as people, do they?
I don't think so. We gotta go. Oh no.
I got a jump pad.
Where you at?
Use it. It might be good to just run.
White line it.
Where are you?
Barry, I gotta be honest, man. You're watching the wrong guy play this game. It's right there.
There it is. On that hunting rifle.
Trying here.
It's a bot. One more. Is there any real people around?
One more. Let's see what they can do. Alright, gold charge shotgun. Oh, to the right.
This is where we need a little challenge here, Cory. 360 or something?
360 hunting rifle, no scope.
Where is he? He's north somewhere?
Nate, you see him? He was shooting at me from down there, I thought.
Yeah, he's right in front of me.
Is it a bot?
Okay. Oh, I see him, yep.
Yes. That shotgun he did you crap there.
It's a shotgun.
It's a charge shotgun, so you can hold it and blast.
There we go.
Hey, Victor, you're out, boys. Didn't even need me.
Thanks for coming out, Cory. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
That'll wrap up this week's episode. Thank you for watching. Now, you can always end off our show by going to InsideTheGame.ca or hitting us up on our Discord, just like Honor the Tree God. And, well, he's got some ultimate fails when it comes to Fall Guys. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week Inside the Game.
Pineapple's so far up. Not pushing the ball. Like, are you kidding? We can't even get it over the hump. What? No!